Okay, so we will remember together. We said that Mrs. Oda didn't find her cousin, so Mr. Fogg offered that she can go with them and she can visit her cousin in Holland. Then Passepartout went to the cafe with Mr. Fix. Fix told him that he is an English detective. Can you remember? What happened to Passepartout?
مس
Yeah?
مس مفيش شاشة ظاهرة عندي بالبق
I
أو
didn't share my screen yet.
Yes.
We are just discussing the last chapter.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So, Passepartout was at the cafe with Mr. Fix. Mr. Fix told him that he is an English detective, and he thought that Mr. Fogg is a gentleman thief, and he stole 50,000 from the bank. And he asked Passepartout to help him. Did Passepartout accept to help Fix? Who can remember?
No.
No, he didn't. Thank you very much. Passepartout said that his master isn't a thief, okay? So he was very tired and he slept. Mr. Fix left Passepartout sleeping at the cafe. When Passepartout is sleeping, Mr. Fogg will not know the new time of the ship. Can you remember the name of the ship? Who can tell me the name of the ship? Raise your hand. Who can tell me the name of the ship? No one remember? Okay. The ship was the Carnatic. The name of the ship was the Carnatic. Okay. So the ship left without Mr. Fogg and Mrs. Oda because they didn't know the new time of the ship. Let's see our screen. You have to tell me if you can see my screen or not, okay?
No, Miss May, we can't see the screen.
You can see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We
I
can't see
see
the
it,
screen.
Miss.
Please share it, please.
You can see it now?
Yeah, we can't see it right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the first question in chapter 4 says, what did Passepartout do when he woke up at the cafe? Now we know that Passepartout slept at the cafe and Fix left him sleeping. So what happened to Passepartout when he woke up at the cafe? He hurried out of the cafe and went to the harbor. He saw that Mr. Fogg and Mrs. Oda went to the Carnatic. Was he right? Was he right? Mr. Fogg and Mrs. Oda were on the ship?
No.
No, they weren't. They were having the dinner at their hotel. They were having the dinner, right? Why?
Right.
Why were they having the dinner? Why weren't they on the ship? Who can tell me? Because they didn't know the new time of leaving, right? When you don't know the new time, you can't go on time, right? Okay. So he hurried out of the cafe and went to the harbor. Question number 2. What did Fogg discover when he reached the harbor? What do you think? What do you think Fogg discovered? Raise your hand and tell me. What do you think? Did he find the ship? Did he find the Carnatic?
No.
No, he didn't, because the Carnatic left without them. The Carnatic left without who? Without Mr. Fogg and Mrs. Oda, right?
Right.
Okay, let's see. He discovered that the Carnatic wasn't there. The ship left. The ship left without them. Okay. The new question. How did Fogg reach Shanghai? We know that they were in, who can remember? They were in no one remembers? They were in Hong Kong. They were in Hong Kong, okay? He took a small boat, the Tankander. The name of the boat was Tankander, okay? So what is the name of the boat? Boys and girls, what is the name of the boat? Raise your hand. How did they go to Shanghai? I'm gonna choose one of you, okay? Muhammad Nader, unmute yourself, please. Tasneem. No one knows? The name of the ship was the Tankander. Boys and girls, can you hear me?
Yes, Miss May, we can hear you. Complete, please.
Okay. So again, the name of the ship that took them to Shanghai was a small boat called the Tankander. The name of the boat that took them to Shanghai was the Tankander, okay? The next question, what was the name of the captain of the small boat? The name of the captain was John Ponsby. So the captain who took them to Shanghai was John Ponsby. Why did Ponsby refuse to take Fogg to Yokohama? They were going to Yokohama, so they want to leave from Hong Kong to Yokohama, but the ship left them. Now, we will know that Ponsby refused to take Fogg to Yokohama because there were lots of storms at sea between their place and Japan. There were lots of storms at sea between their place and Japan, okay? What was the problem when they reached the port of Shanghai? They were too late. They were late again. The first time they were late and the ship left without them. This time they were too late. The big American ship, the General Grant, was coming out of the harbor in front of them. So they can't reach the ship. What do you think? They will catch the ship or not? Unmute yourself and tell me. What do you think? Tasneem, unmute yourself.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Tasneem, what do you think? They will reach the ship or not?
They will reach the ship.
They will what?
They will catch the ship.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, Tasneem thinks that they will catch the ship. Of course, they were late and the ship left, but Mr. Fogg asked John Bonspy to signal to the ship. So, they stopped the ship and they got on it. I want to tell you something. Do you think that only Mr. Fogg and Mrs. Oda were on the boat? Who can tell me? Only Mr. Fogg and Mrs. Oda were on the boat? Or they had someone else? Mr. Fix was with them. When Mr. Fix was at the harbor, he heard that Mr. Fogg is going to leave with John Bonspy on his boat, the Tankander, so he asked Fogg to go with them. So we will complete. What did Bonspy do to stop the General Grant? Bonspy signaled to the General Grant and the ship stopped. So Fogg, Mrs. Oda and Fix got on. So now we know that Fix traveled with Fogg and Mrs. Oda. Of course, Fix didn't tell Mr. Fogg that he is a detective and he wants to arrest him. The one who knows this is Passepartout. We will see where is Passepartout. What happened when Passepartout ran towards Fogg in the circus? Okay, we will know that Passepartout didn't have money. When he got on the ship, he was alone, so he didn't have money. He went to work in the circus, Mr. Battlecard's circus, because Passepartout was an athlete before. When he was younger, he was an athlete. So he went to work as an acrobat in the circus. When he went to the circus, he worked as an acrobat. But as for Mr. Fogg, he didn't know that Passepartout was working there. So he had free time. Mr. Fogg had free time. He went with Mrs. Oda to the circus. Again, Passepartout had free time. Hamad Hisham, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Hamad? Hamad?
Yes.
Okay. Muhammad, we said that
Yes.
Passepartout worked in the circus, okay? Because he was an athlete when he was younger. He now works as an acrobat. He now works as what? Muhammad? Okay, I think Muhammad has a problem with the internet. Tasneem, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Tasneem. Now, Passepartout works as
Circus.
an acrobat. He works as
An acrobat.
an acrobat in the circus of Mr. Battlecard. Mr. Battlecard. So when Mr. Fogg and Mrs. Oda had free time, they went to the circus, where they saw Passepartout, okay? So when Passepartout saw Mr. Fogg, his old master, he ran toward Fogg. He ran toward Fogg. All the acrobats fell down onto the floor and were hurt. When Passepartout saw Mr. Fogg, he ran toward Fogg. So all the acrobats fell down onto the floor and were hurt. So when all the acrobats are hurt, Mr. Battlecar will be happy or angry? Can you tell me?
Angry.
Angry, of course. When all the acrobats fell down and were hurt, Mr. Battlecar will be very angry, right?
Right.
Yeah. Why? Because Passepartout ran towards Fogg. So all the acrobats were down and were hurt. Now Passepartout damaged his show and damaged his good name. As for Mr. Battlecar, Passepartout damaged his show and his good name. Why didn't Passepartout tell his master about the Scotland Yard detective? When I love someone, I didn't want to worry him, right? This is what Passepartout did. He loved his master, so he didn't want to worry him. Let's see. He did that because he didn't want to worry Fogg. He did that because he didn't want to worry Fogg. Let's see the complete answer. Passepartout said that Mr. Fix is wrong and that his master wasn't there. Who can help me? Raise your hands. Who can help me? His master wasn't what? Hamza Farag? Unmute yourself, please. Hosam? Okay, I'll tell you. Passepartout said that Mr. Fix is wrong because his master isn't the gentleman thief. His master wasn't the gentleman thief. Fogg offered what? A day to Bon Spy for every day of their journey. Fogg offered Bon Spy £100 for each day of their journey. Let's see. Passepartout said that his master wasn't a gentleman's thief. Fogg offered £100 a day to Bon Spy for every day of their journey. Passepartout was in the show as one of the acrobats. Passepartout was an acrobat. Battlecar was very angry because Passepartout had damaged his show, thank you. And what else? Good name. He damaged his show and good name. Okay, now I want you to take this as a screenshot to make it and send it to your teacher on the WhatsApp. Okay? I will discuss these questions with you, but I want you to answer them and send them to your teacher on the WhatsApp. Is it clear?
Okay.
Okay. Tamam. Let's discuss one by one. Where did Passepartout work after he reached Yokohama? He worked as an acrobat in Battle Cars Circus. So where did he work? He worked at Battle Cars Circus. Okay, is it clear? He worked as an acrobat in Battle Cars Circus. Okay. Why did Fogg and Mrs. Oda go to Battle Cars Circus? We said that they had free time, so they went to the circus. Whom did Passepartout see in the circus? Passepartout saw his old master, Mr. Fogg. Passepartout saw his old master, Mr. Fogg. When he saw Mr. Fogg, he ran towards him. So all the acrobats fell down and they were hurt because of Passepartout. Fogg and Mrs. Oda were having dinner at the hotel. We said that when the ship left, Fogg and Mrs. Oda were having dinner at their hotel. Passepartout took a job of acrobat as he was an athlete when he was younger. He took the job of acrobat because he was an athlete when he was younger. Okay? This is the end of our session. I want you to answer these questions and send them to your teacher, okay?
Okay.